Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Boss Fight Studios Red Sonja. I don't know anything about Red Sonja. I've seen her around, not in real life, by the way, in like the internet, and people asked me to review the figure. And so I figured, what the heck, it's a 1/12 scale figure, it's kind of expensive, it's $55, but it comes with a bunch of stuff, so we'll just do a quick review and see what this line is all about. I'm not familiar with the line, this is the first thing I've reviewed from them, and like I said, not into the character. Not knowledgeable about the character at all, so I'm just reviewing the figure straight up. If you think the face doesn't match the character the way it's supposed to look, okay, you can let me know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it other than whatever is on this package. So I don't really need to tell you if it's accurate. You guys will know that, or you won't, in which case if you don't know it, it won't matter to you. And if you do know it, then it will, and you will already know it. I don't have to tell you that. I'll just be reviewing the figure for its qualities other than source accuracy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a nice package. Window on the side, front, and top. Lots of light getting in there. Photo of the figure on the front, the name. It's nice. It's a good looking package, have to say. Not bad. There's some artwork there. Hey, I can see if it's accurate. It's pretty source accurate, I would say. I mean, it's pretty stylized, but there you go. There's some more photos on the back. I think it's a nice looking package. For sure. Apparently it comes with one of 3 collectible inserts. I don't know if that means these are random or if it means there are different ones in different figures. Don't know. But mine has the red one, and it does come out if you want it to. It's just her face and a sword. But yeah, decent packaging. Alright, so let's get into this. This figure is available at Big Bad Toy Store. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description below. She stands roughly, we'll call it 6 and 3/8 to the top of her head. Her hair goes up to about 6 3/4, give or take, a little extra poof there. And that's going to make her about 16 centimeters and then 17, give or take. There she is up against, oh, hey, calm down there, buddy. Here she is up against Darwin. She's almost exactly the same size other than the hair poof. And I get asked sometimes why I use Darwin as my height comparison for Marvel Legends. And it's because he's like the average height for Marvel Legends and doesn't have anything going on with his head. And he is somewhat of a channel mascot. So he's the perfect height to compare against Marvel Legends. I don't need to compare against all kinds of different figures because you may not own those figures and they don't represent some sort of middle. And this guy does. Okay, so here she is. Question of the day. Are you familiar with this character? If you are, were you interested in the figure? And what do you think about it? You can answer by the end of the review if you want to wait to see. As you know, I am not familiar with it. But I can guess why she's popular. She's basically a naked fighting lady with nakedness. I mean, for the most part. And that's very true for this figure. So hey, YouTube censor people out there, there's no nudity. There are no sculpted bits on this figure, but it will appear as nudity by your AI potentially, so don't ban my video, please. Okay. Alright, so let's get into the aesthetic on this figure. First impression, it's got a decent overall look. The silhouette is nice. The skin tone is pretty plasticky overall. There's no real paint on it anywhere other than her abdomen, which is pretty weird. They painted her navel. Again, pretty weird. And there's like a bit of a white highlight going up the front. I don't know if you can see that. It almost looks like mold, though. It's kind of weird. The rest of her looks pretty plasticky. Her joints, not the best looking joints. The inside pieces of the joints stick out quite a lot. There's a lot of a lip there for the joint itself. So that's a bit of an issue. But otherwise, it's not a bad looking figure. Definitely not. The hair, well sculpted, well painted. No problems there. If you're into gingers, this lady is as gingery as they get. The metal parts have a nice silver color with some black wash on there. It's actually pretty nicely done. I have to say that looks pretty good. The little plates are connected by their little nubbin thingies. Not bad. The brown parts don't have much detailing on it. Like the sculpt is there, but we don't have a wash or anything, which would bring it to life. The rest, though, still pretty nice looking. The bronzy color looks good. And then more brown down there. 2 different tones, that's nice, but no wash. But still, not bad. The face, not too bad. From the front, from the side, it has a little bit of a weird-ish look, but it kind of looks like the source material, so I'll give it to him. So yeah, generally it looks pretty good, other than she is kind of shiny. But yeah, not bad. The sculpt is okay. It is pinless for those of you who find that to be a big deal. You will be happy about that. So aesthetically speaking, I can't be too upset about it. I'll go 8 out of 10. It's not bad. Compared to much larger companies, it looks pretty darn good. Now, as far as the accessories go, that's where this figure really shines. She has 3 different head sculpts. The hair is hard on all of them, but it is a nice sculpt, and the faces are well sculpted and well painted. Can't really complain about it at all. Very nicely done. A bunch of different, well, not a bunch, a reasonable assortment of hands with vertical hinges for the gripping hands. That's very nice. That's all you need really there. For weapons, you get the sword with the scabbard, you get the axe, you get the dagger that goes on her thigh. That's all pretty nicely done. And then you get a bunch of interchangeable clothing bits, if you want to call them that. So, I don't have to list them all. I guess you can see we get belts and bands and all kinds of different things. And that means you also can remove the ones that are on her. So you get kind of double the accessories to combine and mix and match however you want to make, I guess, certain source accurate versions of her. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, you get a display stand, which has questionable peg placement, but it's well enough done. If you're into display stands, I guess that's fine. So accessory-wise, even at this price point, that's pretty darn good. I'm going to go 9 out of 10. No, 9.5 out of 10. It's really nicely done. And so for those of you wondering, it does have interchangeable clothing bits. So this is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. Good thing in that you have more accessories and options. You can make her look however you want. Bad thing is, this part down here, it's just... like, there's nothing under it. So, I don't know, like, I guess that's kind of accurate if you were wearing this sort of armor. There would be some sort of underwear part, I assume, but there is none. She's just completely naked. A blank body, to be clear. There's no sculpted part at all. I mean, she's got a butt crack, but that's it. There's no sculpted bits in there at all. So if you're a pervert, sorry, but also kind of you still win, but it's basically just a blank female body. Same thing up here. You don't get an alternate bosom cover, but you do have the ability to remove it entirely if you want to. Again, no sculpted bits. Sorry for the perverts out there. But yeah, you can basically strip this thing down to a naked bare body, so it's good for customizing, and I guess that's kind of like what this company does. I don't know for sure. But even the boot parts down here come off. Not these, because they're her feet. You can remove them and put on different feet, but this part comes off too. So you can strip her down completely if you wanted to. And I know there are plenty of preverts out there who may want to do that. All right, let's get into the articulation. So the head is on a double ball peg, which is nice, but it is a lollipop of a double ball peg. So it moves around in a kind of unnatural way. But I mean, you can make it natural too, so that's good. But the hair is stiff, so be aware of that. The shoulder piece is connected in the back, and it's soft, but it does kind of get in the way sometimes. Not in the way, really, but it sits funny. So just be aware of that. You might have to finagle it a little bit. Shoulders are on a butterfly joint that works kind of like the Hulk. So they go back. They go forward a little bit. It's not a bad butterfly joint other than it's ugly in the armpit. For the shoulders themselves, up to horizontal, so that is okay. You're going to get your full rotation. And your bicep swivel, that's pretty much standard. Butterfly joint's a little bit loose. Double jointed elbow, not the best looking thing like we said, but it does function. And then we do get the wrists that have the vertical hinges for the gripping hands. That's nice. For the torso, for the diaphragm joint, not the best range ever, but it is there. It's not too bad. It's functional, it rotates, and you get the other one down here at the bottom. So between those two, she can move all over the place. It can get a little bit gappy, and they did go down pretty far for this abdominal section right here, so it gets in the way of the legs some when it's not leaned out of the way on purpose. But she does have decent torso range. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And then for the hips, not so great. They don't go out to the side that far unless the torso is out of the way, and they are kind of loose. So this one's doing the splits, this one can't because the torso's in the way for this one. And as you saw, it's a little bit floppy, so be aware of that. But you can do the splits technically on the joint, it just depends on where this is. Alright, and bringing the leg forward works pretty well as well. The crotch is a soft piece, but it doesn't flex enough and really get out of the way enough to do a whole lot. But it works pretty well if that's what you're in the mood for. Thigh swivel is okay. Double jointed knees, just like the elbows, they work pretty well. Not the best looking thing in the world, but they do function. And then lastly, we have the ankles, which go all the way back and all the way forward. And your ankle rocker, you have to go over the boot. It's a little bit steep, but it does work. So her articulation's not bad. It's not especially good. It does feel a little bit unfinished, and the joints don't look great, but it mostly functions, it mostly poses pretty well, so I can't fault it too much. I'm going to say the articulation gets an 8 out of 10. For a smaller company at this price point with all these parts and things, now granted, because it's just on a naked body that they're probably reusing, you kind of should take some away from that. You can't give them too much credit, but on the flip side, it turned out to be pretty good. So yeah, I'll say 8 out of 10 for the articulation. It's not too bad. And now it's time for the final verdict. If you are in the market for a bare naked body with red hair and brown boots and gloves with interchangeable clothing parts and a few weapons, this is the figure for you. It's not a perfect figure by any means, but I think with a little bit of work, you could throw some paint on there and maybe clean up those joints a little bit. And if you're interested in customizing, which if you're looking for a bare body, you probably would be, this is not a bad option. The joints do need a little bit of work for sure in terms of looseness and aesthetic, but it'll work. I'll give it an overall rating of 8 out of 10. It's a solid figure, especially for all that you get for the price point. It's not too bad at all comparing against other similar type figures for $50. Not too bad. Not too bad. Lots of extra parts is cool. Interchangeability is cool. And like I said, if you're in the market for a naked little lady, then that's pretty cool too, I guess. So, okay, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.